So not to disparage anybody's business, but 10 times out of 10, if a buyer approaches me and asks me about using an online lender versus a more local or a smaller mom and pop or even a smaller bank, I'm always going to recommend the local lender. Using a local lender versus a very large faceless company, you're going to get better service. Will you get a cheaper rate? You might, and in some cases you won't. In some cases you will get a better rate, and then you'll have some other stuff slipped in at the end, all sorts of origination fees and lender fees and all of this miscellania that kind of gets tacked in to make up for the quote unquote bargain rate that this online company is giving you. After hours service is something that's really important for a real estate agent, because when are you looking for a house? You're not going out on a Monday afternoon at 3 p.m. to look at houses. Chances are you're doing it nights and weekends. Having access to a smaller company or a more localized lending company versus a very big online one, you're not going to get somebody answering the phone at 7 p.m. on a Monday to write up a new pre-qual for you. You're not going to have access to them in the middle of a Saturday afternoon to make an edit or to talk to a listing agent while you're trying to present an offer. One of the other things you don't really realize using an incredibly large company is that you're probably going to be getting lots of different departments where you're going to lose contact with the loan originator entirely. It'll go from the loan originator to processing to underwriting, and in those different departments you're going to change point of contact 1, 2, 3, and even 4 times before you get to the closing table. So if you have a problem, you may get the old talk to this guy. Dealing with a local lender, somebody who's a lot more in touch, and somebody who you could directly call on your cell phone, obviously gives you some advantages. One of the other things that buyers don't really realize is that agents, while they're framing their delivery of your offer, if they've had a bad experience with one of these very large online, loan companies, I can't name names obviously, they're going to tell the seller, hey, look, we've got a pre-qual here from company A who I've worked with before. These guys are excellent. And then we've got a pre-qual here, same offer from this company here, and I've had nothing but nightmare experiences with this company. Which one do you think the seller's taking? It may be very easy to get a pre-qualification from one of these online lenders as opposed to a smaller company, because what they're going to be doing at the smaller companies is they're going to be vetting you a lot more thoroughly. Now, that may work in some scenarios, it may work against you in others, but if you get into a real estate transaction and you don't have your finances in order and that deal falls apart, you're out all the money that you just put into it. You're out the cost of your loan application fees, your home inspection, your appraisal, and obviously time spent, and then you're out the house too. Having a thorough vetting process, having somebody get all your financials in order can save you a lot of time and stress, off your plate later on in the transaction. Going in and just clicking a couple buttons and getting this random piece of paper saying you can buy a house may not always work out.